This video discusses weight loss and health habits. Please take care while watching and skip if these topics may be triggering for you.
I am so tired. It is time to fly to England from Australia.
Hello everybody and welcome to week 2 of my summer glow up series, where over the next 2 months I am going to be documenting every single week my weight progress, my fitness journey, but most importantly just a general glow up in the lead up to my Pakistan hiking expedition and moving to Australia. But what's also fun is that this is also going to be a documentation of what my life's going to be looking like over the next 2 months, because I need to pack up /sell /get rid of almost everything I own, including my car. Get rid of it so that I can move to Australia with just a suitcase, and that's it. But before we get started with this flight to, well, first Kuala Lumpur and then London, I'm in the airport lounge in Perth. I've actually never been to this airport lounge before. It's the Aspire Lounge. Thanks be to God, aka my Revolut Ultra membership, which gets me like unlimited lounge access. And here in the Aspire Lounge in Perth Airport, they have a open Wi-Fi network which I'm going to connect to, which brings me nicely to the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark. Because whilst I am connected to this free Wi-Fi open network, did you know that without the use of a VPN, my device is at risk of being hacked via this connection? I don't know who could be hacking me, but someone could be hacking me, and I don't want that to happen. However, when you switch your Surfshark on with the click of a button, it acts like a virtual shield on your connection, which means that none of those evil hackers can get in. What Surfshark can also do is change the virtual location of your device to pretty much anywhere in the world, which means that you have access to a whole worldwide of media. If you want to watch Netflix from another country, you can. If you are in a country where you get an error message saying, sorry, this media or service is not available in your country, it's really frustrating, well, you can head onto your Surfshark, change the location to somewhere where it is available, refresh your page, and hey presto, it's all fixed. Now, Surfshark is one of the only VPNs which gives you access on an unlimited number of your devices with just the one account. And I have an incredible deal where you can get an extra 4 months of Surfshark when you go to surfshark.com/backpacking or using my code backpacking. This actually feels really funny because this airport lounge was quite late at night and it's really quiet, so I feel like I'm doing an ASMR for you right now. I am notoriously bad at dealing with jet lag, so I'm slightly worried about how my tiredness levels are going to affect my training this week. I'm actually wanting to do more exercise than usual because next week I'm off to Italy for a wedding, which will be super nice. Of course I'm bringing you along with me, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to quite keep on top of my fitness goals there like I can at home, which is why I want to up it this week. But yeah, I'm apprehensive as to how this jet lag might affect me. It should be better going this way around, like traveling west. You're kind of gaining hours. My flight is at 2 a.m. on Tuesday in Perth, and then I land in England at 4:30 p.m. English time. Same day, also on the Tuesday, which sounds like it's not long at all. However, of course, with the time difference, it's a pretty long time to be on a flight. I'm just going to try and sleep as much as I can, and I'm hoping that when I get home to the UK, I manage to stay awake until 7 p.m, 8 p.m, and if I could do that and sleep for 9 or 10 hours and wake up at like 6 a.m, that would be great. I feel like being in Perth for the past month, I've been much more on this schedule of going to bed early and waking up early, and I really like it. I think that this suits me. I've learned about myself that I can be a morning person, and I really enjoy being a morning person if I go to bed early. If I go to bed late, obviously it's game over because I need my 8 hours. But switching the whole schedule earlier is just fantastic. And now the days are longer in the UK, so I can utilise the sun being up. But the bottom line is that I do need a lot of sleep. That's definitely one of the factors I have with this whole glow up program. I don't think I'm going to make much progress at all if I'm not sleeping well. So let's see. Let's go fly to London.
I made it home just like half an hour ago, and it is
7:30 p.m. and I'm actually going to go out and do a little supermarket shop because, as you can imagine, I've not been in my flat for 3 months and so I have nothing in the fridge. There's like a few random bits and bobs that Airbnb guests have left over, but nothing that I can really make a meal out of. I always find it funny when I like get back after a trip knowing that Airbnb guests have stayed here just to like see what they've left for me, see if the cleaners have done anything different, and I'm like scoping around each room. I mean, every time it is more or less the same, but like there is some changes. And this time the cleaner has left out, fully made up, the sofa bed in the living room, which is not normal. Normally that's packed up away to be a sofa. So that's fun. I could have a sleepover tonight. Too bad I don't have anyone to invite round for a sleepover. Anyway, we'll go to the supermarket and I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna buy myself some comfort things to make me feel good about being home, some pasta and some cheese. And I'm like, no! Christianne, that's not part of the plan. So I feel like it will be a slightly challenging shop. Also, it will be challenging because I'm only home for 5 days and then I will be away again for a whole week where it'll be rented out again. So I can't really bulk buy things right now, which again makes this a little bit more difficult. But I never said this was going to be easy. The first challenge is going to be seeing if my car actually starts because that's just been sitting here for 3 months untouched. Okay, well, it's still here. That's the first good sign. Whoa! Hey! I knew I could rely on my trusty Toyota Aygo, which makes me even sadder that I am going to have to sell her in the next couple of months. Right, let's go and do some good things. Okay, quick call before I make some dinner. I got spinach, 2 packs of cherry tomatoes, broccoli, courgette, green beans, cucumber, 6 eggs, king prawns, turkey breast steaks, chicken breast fillets, a bag of new potatoes, a pack of quinoa, a small thing of milk. I will say they didn't even have semi-skimmed or skimmed, so I had to go with the whole if I wanted to get the little milk, and some apparently lighter than light mayonnaise. Now all of this from Lidl cost me £24.76. Do we think that that's good? I think that that's gonna last me the whole week. And for that, I feel like 25 quid is all right. That would be equivalent to 100 quid a month on groceries, which is good, right? Even though prices have gone up in the UK recently on groceries, we are still so much further ahead in terms of grocery affordability compared to almost every single other country that I visit. So thank you, UK. I feel like this is really good. And that is my first dinner back. Quickest thing ever. It's not the nicest or most exciting meal ever, but I'm a big fan of meals that take under 3 minutes to make, which is what this is. Right, the Garmin coach has adjusted itself today because I was supposed to do a VO2 max run today, but it said, you've had a shit sleep, so you need to take it easy on your run today, which I'm very, very grateful for because although I did sleep through the night, I think it just wasn't a very productive sleep, as they call it. So I'm just gonna head out and do 47-minute run at 148 beats per minute. I love doing the heart rate thing. It just really relieves pressure off me to like meet any certain pace. It's gonna be interesting to see how far I go with 47 minutes. That's kind of long. The sun is suddenly out in London, which is great. What a welcome home. Yesterday it was grey though. All right, less chatting, more running. Let's go. That felt hard. I did 6.5 Ks. I'm gonna put it down to the fact that the lack of sleep has been happening. That's what Garmin seems to think anyway, and Garmin seems to be ruling my life at the moment, so. Well, this dinner is absolutely humongous, but I would say that it's healthy. We got a shitload of veggies, bunch of potatoes, and some chicken breasts, and I think considering how measly my dinner was yesterday and my breakfast this morning, I deserve a big dinner. Look who I'm with, it's Leah. And we've come to Flatiron and I debated a lot about what the side was going to be because all the sides here are so good, but as you can imagine, they are not really high on the health scale. So I went for the cream spinach. Yeah. If I'm going to treat myself to a flat iron, I'm not going to get the green salad. Yeah. That would really upset me. These moments are the hardest ones when I'm on this weight loss journey because like you're out, you want to treat yourself
and yet you're like, oh my god, but I've got to restrict myself. Anyway, we're seeing this as a treat. I'm going for a run later. I have a really healthy dinner, lots of vegetables. I just can't make this a regular occurrence.
No, it won't be.
This is a special occasion.
Really, we come here like once or twice a year.
Yeah. The wonderful thing about being in Westfield for the day is how many steps you rack up. So it's not even 5 p.m. and I've done 11,000.
It's actually ridiculous.
Actually ridiculous.
We've hardly been, we've just been
going around.
Yeah.
Right, we're home. I'm not even giving myself time to lay down or rest because I know that once I do, there will be no getting me back out the house. So, just got my gym gear straight on. We're following the Garmin coach today, which tells me that I am just doing a base run, 148 beats per minute for 40 minutes. Nice. So I did a thing. I joined Pure Gym. I have not been a member of Pure Gym for like 7 years or something. Such a blast from the past, back when I was living and working. But there's one not too far from where I live in London. It was between that and doing another trial of F45, which I did before, but I can do it at another gym and it would still be really cost effective. But Pure Gym had a deal going on where you could save 30% on your first 3 months and there was no joining fee. And so I thought, okay, well, that's actually the perfect opportunity since I'm only here for 2 months and then I can cancel it after that amount of time. Seems cheeky, but at the same time, 2 months is all I've got. I really just realised if I want to speed up my metabolism, if I want my weight to actually go down and not just fitness increase, I've got to start strength training. And truth be told, I hate the gym. I hate going into the weight section of the gym. I find it not intimidating per se, but I don't know, I just always feel like I'm taking up space I shouldn't. Even if no one's made me feel that way, I feel like that. And I hate, I don't know, let's say I'm on a squat rack and then I can see someone's waiting for me. That makes me feel pressure. And I also hate if I go in there and I want to use this certain piece of equipment which is not available to use, and then I have to improvise and do something else. That, in terms of like my productivity and in terms of my motivation, really throws me off. And so I think the best way for me to get strength training in would be for me to do classes where, you know, it's all set for you. Someone's telling you when and where to do it. And at Pure Gym, they do have a bunch of those classes. They're not super long, they're like 30 or 45 minutes. But this morning I'm going to one called GLC, which I think is like glutes, legs, core, something like this. I just faced the hardest point of my whole week so far, and it was in Lidl, and I caught a glimpse of the chocolate chip shortbread. Now that is my biggest weakness. Oh my god, I almost picked it up. I almost was like, you know what, I've been doing so well this week. I've been eating so healthy. But this is how I don't see progress. Oh my goodness, it took all the willpower I had in my being to not pick those up. I started like imagining how good they were. My mouth started watering thinking about how much I love them in the shop. Well done me. That was hard. Okay, I'm just gonna make myself some dinner. Any dinner, something to take my mind off of them. So the number on the scale was 74.4. Okay. Yeah, that's progress. It has been almost 2 weeks since my last weigh-in, so just over a kilo in 2 weeks. Do you know what? I'm not going to focus too much on that. I know that weight is going to fluctuate with time of the month anyway. I guess as long as I am going in just like a steady downward fashion, I'll be happy. And that is what's happening so far. Anyway, hi everyone from my hometown, Woking. I'm in my parents' house right now. I've come home just because it's a little bit closer to Gatwick, which is where I am flying from tomorrow. So I thought this would be easier, and therefore I'm going to be doing the park run in Woking today, my hometown park run, which I've never ever done. So that's fun. I have no idea what the course is like. All I know right now is that it starts at 9 a.m. And right now it's 7:30 in the morning. So I'm going to make myself some brekkie. I feel like it will be good to be fueled for this run. As for like my training readiness, which is what I showed you last week, we're not on prime, but we are on high. It says well recovered. Nice job, you're well rested and ready for action. Pretty pleased with that. We've just made ourselves a plain omelette with some tomatoes, which is super boring, but I was just working with whatever I found in my parents' fridge. And they're not in right now, they're on holiday. Here's the running fit today. It's always very similar each week. I've got like a 2-kilometre walk now to get to the start of the park run. I could drive, but it says you should try and take public transport, and I feel like this is going to be a good warm-up. Here we go.
We had a great turnout this week, which is very pleasing.
Good luck. Hope it goes well. Yeah, you too.
Park runners, the signal's on fire. Fire quickly, the signal's on fire. Fire quickly.
30, 32, pace 6:06. Do you know what? I'm happy with that. I kind of went into the race going, not bothered about PBing, but I'd love to get under sub 30. And then as soon as the race began, and it was just like a walk for like at least 60 meters because there were so many people and it wasn't a very wide track. So I was like, okay, there's no way I'm PBing today. And the terrain was also a bit more hilly than it was last week. And it was more off-roading than it was last week. And so all things considered, I'm actually really pleased with that time. Kind of chaos because you had to do 3 laps of the course, which meant that not only were you overtaking people who were just walking it, but you also had the super fast runners just like overtaking you. So the whole thing was quite chaotic. I'd say like halfway through lap 2, I found 2 girls who were going at like a really steady pace, which I liked. So I just tried to follow them for the rest of the track. That kind of worked. I gotta say, the vibes at the Woking Park Run were so Woking in a really good way. Like there's a big community feeling there, and I even made 2 friends at the start. I didn't see anyone I knew, but there was this girl who was on her second park run, and there was this old guy who I think had done it a bunch before, but it was the first time he was taking his dog, and he asked me to take a photo of him and his dog. And then he said to me, "Oh, do you want a photo?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, go on then." And then he said, "Oh, well, you're going to need to hold my dog." So he's taken a photo of me and his dog, and it's so cute. So it was good vibes and good weather in England, actually, like perfect running weather, if anything, a little bit hot. So I'm going to end the vlog here. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Tomorrow morning we're flying to Italy, so I think this is going to be my hardest week yet, having to face my current arch nemesis, cheesy pasta, in the land of pasta. Oh, the endorphins are high right now. This is great. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.